Okay, we are ready to finish up section 2.3. We have been talking about composite functions. These are new functions that are made by combining two functions by taking the result of one and plugging that in to the second one. We have some really nice notes there. Hopefully yours look neater than mine do. But let's look at it. If we're kind of working these backwards, we're given a function, I'm going to call it h, and we're going to separate it into the function f and g. And it looks like my little circle here somehow got moved. So this is saying we have a function h of x. We've got a couple different examples here we're going to do. We're going to break it into those two starting functions that were combined to make it. So the way you do these is you look at the function and you look for kind of what is happening. What is happening in this function? If we start with x, it's getting multiplied by 3. It's getting 4 added to it, and then it's getting taken to the 5th power. So there's kind of 3 things here. So there's actually more than one way you could do this. But probably the simplest is to break that, taking it to the 5th power off, and calling that the second function or the outer function, and then this inside here as the inner function. So the inner function, remember f of g is like this. F is the outer function and g is the inner function. So it's kind of like we're taking 4 plus 3x. Well, it is. We're taking 4 plus 3x, and we're taking that quantity to the 5th power. So do you see how we kind of have a function inside of a function? We have that internal function, which is the 4 plus 3x. So that's going to be our g of x. And then our outer function, we're taking the result of this and we're taking it to the 5th power. So f of x is to take whatever it is to the 5th power. So when we combine those, so this is our answer, but just to show you how this does result in the function that we're looking for. Remember, f of g of x means that, I'm on eraser instead of pen. F of g of x means that we're taking f of whatever the result of g of x is. And we just said f of x means we're taking the 5th power of whatever's in here. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, we can certainly do more examples. You guys need to let me know if you need more examples of things like this. This is probably one of those concepts that once it clicks, you're fine. But if you've never done it before, it can be a little confusing. But I think once it clicks, you're good. So if you need more examples, let me know. We can work through some more. Maybe in one of the office hours would be a great time to do that. Okay, let's look at the second one. So here is our answer. We broke the function f of h of x into the two functions that make up the composite. Okay, so let's look at this next one. And I always start with the variable. What is happening to x? What does this function say to do to x? So the x is right here in the numerator. It says we need to subtract 5 from it and divide by 7 and take the square root. So there's actually kind of, again, 3 different things that are happening to x. And you could divide this out differently, but I think the way that is the most obvious is to do all of the stuff that's underneath the square root as one function, and then taking the square root is the second function, or the outer function. So the inner function is our g of x. And our outer function is, what are we doing to that? We're taking the square root of it. So the f of x is the square root of whatever you're taking the function of. So again, just checking out here to the side, f of g of x, replace the g of x with x minus 5 over 7. And then we take f of that. That means that this goes in place of the x, square root of x minus 5 over 7. Okay, that is it for 2.3. Paper-wise, this was a fairly short section with just 1 page of notes, but it is something that may be new to some of you or may not be something you've spent a lot of time on. So do reach out if you need some more help. Of course, the Math Lab with the Academic Success Center is a great place to get help. Coming on to my office hours, we can work some more of these. And just stay in touch. Let me know if this or any of the other topics that you need some more help with. This is the downside of not seeing you live is, for example, on this page, I probably would have worked the first one and had you work the second one and then check yourself. And we just don't have that kind of back and forth with doing the videos. So definitely don't be afraid to reach out if you have some questions.